stand up. Nothing against you guys for sitting down, but I'm a talker like this. So, I'm Kevin Vanderweg. I'm one of your representatives, and pleasure to be here. The 24th Legislative District covers all of Klamath County, Jefferson County, and a good portion of Grace Harbor County. So geographically, we cover a large area. I want to start off first by saying a lot of folks wrote me about this issue, and it went to an office that we have in Hoquiam, and we didn't get those letters. But I think Linda pretty much made contact with a lot of folks. Is that true?
No, I didn't get contacted.
You didn't get contacted? Okay, I'm sorry about that. What happened when the letters went to our Hoquiam office address, and they sat there for a while until somebody realized, oh, we need to get those back up to Squim. So sorry about any delays, and sorry if we didn't get to you. I would like to also start off by giving Kevin Dayton a big thank you, and I think he deserves a round of applause for that. As he pointed out, it's not his job to second guess the legislature, it's his job to complete projects on time, so he could definitely come in here iron-fisted and said, no, we're doing this project and we're going to have it completed on time. But he's not, he's being very flexible, and that's good to see. So a little history of what's going on in our state. If you haven't noticed, gas prices are up. No. And when gas prices go up, fuel consumption goes down, which is good for the environment, but it also means that we collect less gas tax. The only way we fund our transportation projects is through the gas tax. The gas tax only can be used on transportation projects. It can't be used for any capital projects or operating or schools or anything. It has to be used on transportation projects. We can use sales tax revenue, for instance, on transportation projects, but we've chosen not to do that, and there's no general fund or sales tax revenue used on transportation projects. What you see happening, what you see being built around the state is done by transportation dollars.
It should be we're the highest tax state in the union. Well, tell us that. We're the highest tax state in the union.
As far as gas?
Tell us that. Say it.
Calm down.
No, I just said state.
I'm not sure we are, because
yes, we are.
That changes on a pretty.
Check us out. Please say it.
Okay, I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
No, I'm through. Just say it.
I'm not going to say it.
Be honest with us.
I don't know if we are or not, though.
Then read the paper.
Okay, point well taken.
Okay.
So the money's come down. We're using less gas, which is good, like I mentioned, for the environment and a couple other things, but it also means we're getting less dollars coming in. And there were a lot, as Kevin mentioned, there were a lot of projects that were talked about and really pushed when we did those gas tax increases. We said, you know, if we're going to increase the gas tax, we're going to get these projects done. And this project was one of those that was put on that list.
When was it put on the list? With respect to the gas tax increase. Give us a date.
2003.
Give us a date.
2003.
When was the gas tax increase passed?
2003.
Well, the nickel was 2003.
No, the whole thing.
The
Be honest now.
Would you let me finish?
Just be honest.
The nickel was in 2003.
No, the whole thing.
Would you let me finish?
Yeah, would you shut up back there?
Okay.
It's enough.
So the nickel, I think, was in 2003. The 9 cent.
9.5 cent is passed in 2005 and then phased in. I think this last July was the last.
Yeah. So if you don't remember, the 9.5 cent was challenged. We have a referendum process in the state where if the legislature does something the people don't like, you have the ability to put it on the ballot, and that's what happened with the 9.5 cents. The 2005 legislature passed the 9.5 cent gas tax increase. The people got signatures collected that said, hey, we don't want this to happen. And they got enough. It was put on the ballot as a referendum form. It was passed that fall of 2005, and there were increases, I think, almost every year. It wasn't 9.5 cents at once. It was 1 cent one year, 2 cents next year, usually every June or July. But when we talked about those projects, when we raised that gas tax, there were a lot of projects, and this was one of those. So the good news, I have good news and bad news. The good news is this project is being delayed. The good news is this project is going to go without, we're going to start a legislative session January 12th without this project having started in any way, whether it's the pipe, your well, condemnation, anything. And so the money for this project is gonna, you know, it's hard to say how this happens, but all the transportation projects that are going on throughout the state aren't on the chopping block, but they're all in play, I guess, when we're in session. Things can get moved around, but what is going to happen, because revenues are down, is things aren't necessarily going to get moved around, but things are going to be changed. We're not starting any new projects, none at all. So the best case scenario, well, and I guess also I should say is what's going to happen as we go into this session is if somebody asked, I think a while ago, who does has the authority to stop this project? Well, the legislature does. We do. That's what our job is. And if I'm a representative, and if I'm going into the session without being a fan of this project, and Representative Kessler and Senator Hargrove certainly has hesitations, they're not. I mean, our transportation committee is not going to say, well, we're going to do that project anyway. So that, I guess, would be good news. The bad news is that there's going to be no new projects started. So this money can't be changed. It can't be put in. We're not going to be able to move it down the road. You know, you had that's a great idea, and I drove by that area, and it would be great to move it down the road a little further. That's impossible. It's not going to happen. We can't turn that money into passing lanes. It's impossible. It's not going to happen right now.